Dobrое utro. Good morning in Bulgarian. Here I am at Sofia Central Railway Station, en route, in transit, so to say, after a week of filming all around southeastern Europe. And I've got a few hours to kill before my flight with British Airways this evening to London. So I was thinking of going on an impromptu walk around Sofia. Would you like to join me? And the city centre is straight ahead, this way. Having walked for about 6 minutes in a southwesterly direction from Sofia Railway Station, I think I found the first site of merit, and that is Lavele Mosque. Clearly it means Lion's Bridge because there are 4 statues of lions, and it was built towards the end of the 19th century and one of the first areas in Sofia in the early 1900s to have electric lighting. Not only that, and I recognised this the moment I arrived, but knocked me down, and please, actually, traffic of Sofia, which is pretty heavy around that, don't do that. Why would you do that? If you have a look at the lion and you studiously look at the banknotes, as I do with every country when I arrive in a new country, then you'll notice that these lions are on the 20 lev banknote, and I'm going to prove that to you right now. Now, moving on from the bridge, it's time to find a coffee. It's around about 10 past 11 this morning at 6 a.m. before setting off on the journey to Sofia. First caffeine shot, but waning a bit now, and I think it's good timing because I know that there are 2 markets nearby, one called Women's Market, I hope it's for everyone these days at least, and also a rather larger market hall which I think has some eating options and drinking options in it. Looks like I found the so-called Women's Market, but I'm pleased to report that if anything, there are more men selling vegetables and nuts and fruits and all sorts of things here than there are women, so it's not a relic from the past, must just be a naming convention. I love markets wherever I go, and I know it's the same vegetables and fruit pretty much everywhere, but for me these markets give a taste of the local people, what they actually like to eat and buy at the market. Just adds a little bit of local flavour. So do you agree with me? If you do, please put a comment below, and equally, if not, tell me, because otherwise I'd be shooting far too many market scenes for you. Again, not quite what I was expecting. It seems to be a giant supermarket more than anything else. Kaufland, which is a German brand, but very smart and so light, and an absolutely beautiful building. Wow. I wish my supermarket looked something like this. No mistake, this stuff is explosive. It's called rakia, and it's the local spirit made with wine grapes, as you can see. And I know it's pretty strong. Plenty of Bulgarian wine on offer. Lots of beautiful labels, I must say. Everything I'm showing you in this row available for under £5, in some cases around about £3. And opposite the central hall, the main mosque of Sofia is located. It's a very beautiful ornate mosque. It has a large dome, and it's built actually over thermal spas. It was built during the 16th century. Well, that's a lovely cafe, and the biscuits were delicious, without question, although probably it's a bit too much on the stomach. The funny thing there is I'm desperate for a coffee, and apparently today there's no water supply, so the only coffee I could have was cold press. Anyhow, better than nothing. It's given me some energy. This metro station is called Serdica, just like the original name of the city of the Roman settlement, and that's probably linked also to all these amazing ruins which are actually bordering the underground station. And I'm going to use it as an excuse to make a slight detour There's a museum I want to see and share with you as well. I'll tell you a little bit more about it when we get there. It looks like you can tap in, tap out with your credit card, which is great. And now that we've arrived in this park, I'll let you know the secret. This park is dedicated to fallen statues from the communist era. Now, there's a park very similar to this in Moscow at the moment, but that's quite hard to get to for obvious reasons. Here's the big daddy of all communist statues, Vladimir Lenin himself, and it's not the only statue of him in the park. Here he is again. If that weren't enough, he's over here as well, resting by the tree. Now basically all of these statues have been collected from all across Bulgaria, and obviously they were pulled down after the communist era came to a screeching halt in 1989. Is this guy directing traffic, or does he represent a better way of life? A couple of workers from their cooperative farm having a nice catch up. Communism is always such a struggle. Heroic, of course, at least in the statues. Who's this? For a moment I thought it was a British business leader whose name escapes me, but no, it's Che Guevara, of course. Right, time to leave this graveyard or cemetery to stone statues and to failed political leaders whose system wrought so much havoc. Back to the city centre. Okay, could I please have the meatballs with marinated eggplant? Is that a good decision?
Yeah.
A very good decision. Excellent. Thank you.
Blagadaria.
Blagadaria.
Oh, you know how to say?
Blagadaria.
For you, it's easy to say merci. Everyone will
Merci.
say, yeah.
And ciao for goodbye, right?
Yeah, like in France.
Having come back from the museum with all of those deposed communist statues, it's time to eat something before I go on with the walk through central Sofia. Not really had a proper meal all day. Okay, I know I had the biscuits, but that's not quite the same thing. So this restaurant is called Lavele, open all afternoon and all evening and pretty close to the metro station Serdica. Looks good, TripAdvisor seems to like it, decided to pop in, and I've ordered just some Carlsberg beer, some local mineral water, and I'm going to have one of the specials of the day, which is meatballs. Meatballs I know are very popular in Bulgaria, and the chef seems to be very confident that these are delicious, so I look forward to trying them.
Enjoy yourself.
That's very good, thank you. Digging in now, and I'm going to take a bit of a meatball, some cheese, some aubergine tomato sauce. Wow, taste sensation. Meatballs are really meaty in a good way, and a good long taste, but absolutely fantastic meatballs. And the tomato is very rich with the aubergine and the creaminess of the cheese, and actually would go really well with a Melnik red wine. My beer will have to do, but it's very filling, despite the relatively small size, so I can tell that, and it's extraordinarily well prepared. The restaurant not only seems to be quite popular, there weren't that many people in there, but it's got very good ratings, and also has been nominated for awards already. So in terms of value, it cost around about £13-14. That included the meal, a very large Carlsberg, very large, half a litre, and also mineral water with ice. So I think that's pretty good value, and I definitely go again. I give it 8 out of 10, I think, and a Sofia star of appreciation. Just to get our bearings, you can see in the distance the mosque, so we're back on track, back to where we left the walk. And also to my left, you can see a statue towering over central Sofia, which is the statue of Saint Sofia, after whom the city is named. And as we pan round from Saint Sofia past the mosque towards the heart of Sofia, the very centre, we see a strong architectural statement from the communist era. These large buildings which, like in other metropoli of Central and Eastern Europe, state to the individual, the state is great, but you are small. The building still serves as the National Assembly, the Parliament of Bulgaria, the heart of decision making for this country. And just opposite the Parliament as well, the offices of the President of the Bulgarian Republic and the soldiers in their traditional Bulgarian uniforms, looking very smart indeed. Back onto the yellow brick road and further into the heart of the city. We're now heading towards a huge open square and then the Alexander Nevsky Cathedral. And this beautiful building houses an art gallery, but beyond that it suggests something grander to me. And when you do your research, you find out that actually it was a royal palace for the King of Bulgaria in times gone by. And suddenly Sofia's Russian Orthodox Church comes into sight. Business has brought me to Sofia several times in the past, and whenever there was a spare moment from generally very busy programs, one place to seek out is Alexander Nevsky Cathedral. Undisputably the most impressive building in Sofia. This is a cathedral that truly dazzles, and to share it with you is going to be a great pleasure. And one thing that's never changed on the approach to the cathedral is a little line of stalls selling all types of souvenirs, the golden domes reflecting the sun. It always strikes me how different the cathedral looks depending which side of the building you're standing on, and I'm sure it was designed to have that impact. Statue to Alexander II, Emperor of all Russia. The capital of Bulgaria, Sofia, has something in common with the capital of Finland, Helsinki. On both cities' main squares is a statue dedicated to Alexander II. In Sofia, for his role in liberating the country, and in Helsinki, for having given the Finns a fair degree of autonomy whilst they were part of the Russian Empire. Hello. So I've decided I like them so much, I'll buy 3, okay? These are all 60, right?
Yeah.
So, and we said...
This.
Okay, alright. So I'll take this one, this one, and this one. I like all of those. They're good choices?
Perfect choice. No,
Perfect.
The lady who made them, it's one very beautiful and talented and very, how to say, sensitive person, and made them with very much heart and soul, and very much love and dedication of it's not ordinary, just like, because of the present times it's so much of the Chinese like machine.
That's true. But this is real personal.
This is something from the heart and soul with some special energy. It's this the artist Jordanka Yanusheva, it's her name. She go in the mountains of Rhodope mountains to find first the pieces of wood. It's by herself, just not to buy from something and make everything, to go in the forest to find. It's something special with love, very much love.
I do hope you've enjoyed this show. If you have, I'd be incredibly grateful if you'd give it a thumbs up, and why not subscribe as well? You know, I really appreciate that, particularly as I begin to build an audience on YouTube. And if you ask for notifications, then you'll know as soon as I add new content to the channel. Ciao from Bulgaria. Just in closing, this film is dedicated to one of my best friends, Andrew, and his family, and his daughter, my goddaughter, Laura. This is where your father, my friend Andrew, studied in the spring of 1987. Andrew had a lot of fun, as far as I understand, but with one or two dicey moments. But then again, Sofia wasn't the place it is today, and I hope if you're watching this film, Andrew, it'll entice you to come back and discover more. The beauty of travel. You've always got new things to discover and learn about places you thought you knew, and places that you can only fall in love with that little bit more.